Hi, so my name is Katie Rudd and I am the cultivator here at Haw Creek Commons, which is a nonprofit that is a project of the Missional Wisdom Foundation, and which is an extension ministry of the United Methodist Church, and we're housed here in Bethesda United Methodist. And our goal is to keep this church open and have this property used by the community in all sorts of different ways, Monday through Monday, 7 days a week, Sunday through Sunday, and make sure that it's available to people not only for worship, but also free to people to do things like work remotely from their office, or be an entrepreneur and use our co-working space, or be an artist or creative that uses our studio space, or have a catering company or a food truck that uses our shared use kitchen space. So we've tried to we have meeting rooms here and event space here that all sorts of different groups meet for anything from meditation to yoga to all sorts of different nonprofit board meetings and groups and things like that. And so that's our use of trying to use our indoor space 7 days a week. We also try to use our outdoor space at least as completely as we can. So we have a community garden, we have a farm in the woods, we've got multiple nonprofits that work out of our parsonage to do alternative children's education, both indoor and outdoor. And so yeah, that's what we're about. And so we love working with Asheville Youth Mission and having kids come out here frequently and learning about alternative ways of worship and being in community.
So Katie, tell me about this community garden that you have here at Haw Creek Commons, and who is it serving?
Yeah, so this right behind me is a new farm called Got Food Farm, started by one of our partners, Robert Stafford, and we let him use the woods to create a farm to give food away to people. So his vision is to work with kids at his Section 8 housing project and another one in our neighborhood to teach them how to grow food and to give food away to neighbors. We also have a community garden up front that's used by multiple nonprofits to teach kids how to grow food and to understand the ecology of honestly just being kind and taking care of the world around you. Be it people, plants, insects, and microbiology like soil bacteria. We talk about how all of this is a system and we all work together. And so most of this food is donated to a combination of neighbors that are in need, and definitely the neighbors that work in the garden. We garden it all communally, so there's no separate plots. We do it all together, and it's also donated to Manna Food Bank and used in our programs here at Haw Creek Commons.
So Katie, tell me how what you're doing here at Haw Creek Commons is more than just providing food, but a way of getting at some of the root causes or systemic causes of hunger and poverty.
Yeah, so this is something that I'm personally very passionate about. Before coming here, I worked at a food bank for 9 years, working in their nutrition and garden programs, and really got to see firsthand the weight of not just lack of food access to fresh food, lack of whether there's not enough grocery stores and you live in a food desert, or there's a lack of knowledge across economic classes of how to grow your own food. Seeing that trickle down to particularly people in poverty not having the nutritious food to keep their body healthy, and that stemming into higher medical costs. And so what we're trying to do here is also look at not just addressing a way to teach people of all economic statuses and races and cultures and upbringings to be able to grow their own sources of nutritious food at low cost, and that food being like a great equalizer between all people. We all have to eat. You know, this is something that we can all come together around, whether it's growing it or sharing a meal. But it also gets to a deeper level of how do we take care of each other? How do we make sure that people have enough fresh food to be healthy? How do we learn how to work together in a community setting? It's one of the reasons why I didn't want to have individual plots. in any of the spaces that we've gardened here is we're doing this together and we're sharing it together and we're practicing sharing. We're practicing working together. We're practicing, you know, following up behind someone and saying, oh, I'll weed this area so that we all get melons or something like that. It also gets to environmental issues. We planted a lot of native plants here. We've planted a lot of pollinator plants here. We've planted a lot of soil repair plants here to try to deepen the healthy ecology of the place. And then we also, instead of using a lot of our space that was watered and fertilized and paid for having grass managed, we replaced that with food. And so instead of having a lawn next to your church, you could have a space that you gather community, that you can use for education, and that you can use to grow food with. You're still importing resources no matter which way you go. And this is just a way that you can make a decision to say, we care about people, we care about the planet, and we want to grow things together.
All right, Robert, tell me about your Got Food farm.
Well, this COVID hit and it just kind of devastated me. Health issues, I can't return to Haywood Street right now because of chronic health issues. And I talked to Katie and I want to be able to do some good for our community. And right now food's going to be more important than ever. So come up with the idea of her letting me clear this land and put all this in here. So right now I have 90 tomato plants, 12 rows of okra, looks like half of them are gonna come up. Got pepper patch, and about 4 decent rows of beans. And my goal is to give it all away. So I am good with people to come pick. I kind of think food ought to be free. But if you come pick and you wanna give a donation, that's fine to help me cover some expenses, but I want to mostly give it away to people beyond the margins, like in public housing and different places, maybe Spruce Hill, maybe my building, Asheville Terrace, and a few other places around. So that is my goal, that we're gonna need food more than ever, and maybe I can provide it.